Hi, thanks for watching. Now, although there are many different ways to generate new customer leads for your business, consumer habits have shifted over the last couple of years because of the pandemic, so I wanted to show you how you can leverage local internet search volume to bring all these new leads into your website for free. Well, basically at whatever it costs to keep your site live. Now, all these leads will be coming exclusively to you, unlike third-party sites like Angie's and HomeAdvisor. And so you can see there's value in it, I'm going to show you the amount of traffic and leads coming into your top competitors, so that way you'll see what to expect. So for comparison, I've taken your website as well as I did a quick search for interior painting Rhode Island and just took the top competitor here. And I put these two websites into this tool that I use, and it shows me all the information that Google uses to determine your position in search results. So you can see just briefly from looking at some of the numbers why this site is outranking yours and are at the top of the list. But let me just touch on what these numbers mean. So as we go through the site, you can see what changes need to be made and how they'll affect its rank. So when Google is determining how to rank your website, it uses two factors. The first is what's called the authority or trust that it has in your site. Now this basically boils down to a popularity contest because this authority is gained when other domains or websites refer back to yours and then they create a link called the backlink. This acts as an endorsement that Google uses to build trust because others are vouching for you. So to give you a quick example, if say local Channel 12 News did an article on their website and it was the top 10 best painters in the Rhode Island area. And in that article, the reader could click on a link and it would bring them to your website. That would be considered one backlink from one referring domain. Now, these backlinks can come from many different sources: blogs, editorials, guest posts, that press release. One strong and important type is what's called a citation, which is where your name, address, and phone number are listed in an online directory. Those include Yelp, Yellow Pages, Better Business Bureau, Super Pages, things like that. Good news is these directories are always free. It just takes some time for you to find them, register your business, and then input the information exactly as it's shown in Google. So as you can see, based on the number of websites and how many links they've created, Google is placing more authority or more trust in this website. But it is something to note here is it's not just a matter of the sheer quantity. Quality has a lot to do with it as well. So we need to make sure that we're linking back to websites that are relevant to your industry, local, at the very least inside the United States. And we want to make sure that they're relatively trustworthy websites to begin with. Otherwise, they can't pass that trust through the link to your website. Now, the second factor for ranking your page is the content on the site. So if we take a look here in at the keywords, these are all the keywords and phrases that Google is either finding or associating with your site. And then it also shows me the volume, the number of times per month they're being searched. So this is where we just do a little bit of market research to make sure that you've included all of the highest volume keywords relative to the services you offer in the areas you want to service, and making sure that those are being included on the site. So if, just for instance, we do painters in Rhode Island, that's being searched 100 times. Right now you're in the 10th position, so that's going to put you at the very bottom of the first page or more than likely at the top of the second page. Unfortunately, the statistic is nobody's really going past 3, maybe 5 at most on the first page, so nobody's really seeing you down there. However, if your site was ranked, those 100 people would be seeing your site every month, and then Google Analytics estimates that of total search volume, 10% should convert into a lead, whether they're calling or emailing directly or filling out your contact form. So you're looking at a potential of up to 10 new leads per month. Now, obviously, you're not going to close every single deal, and each job is going to vary in size, scope, and profit margin, but you can see just how the sheer volume of leads coming in every month can definitely add up to some revenue at the end of that month and at the end of the year, and that's just for one keyword phrase. So then repeat that same process for all the highest volume keywords, making sure that those are included and ranked on your site, and you can see how that can definitely add up to some good leads coming in. However, there is a formula that Google uses to find these keywords. I'm going to take a quick look at your site, but just something else to mention here is when you have what's called a title tag for your website, whenever the website comes up, it's going to come up with this little tag phrase. So it's usually a good idea to have some keywords in there as well, just another way to get some keywords and some search volume for you. So looking at the site, I think the layout is great. As far as a user standpoint, we've got everything anybody could want. We've got all these drop downs right up here. It is obviously mobile optimized, which is fantastic because almost everybody is searching from a mobile device nowadays. We have a contact form right away. As far as Google is concerned, though, it doesn't care what the layout looks like. It's just a computer, so it's going to come in and count all the words and text on the page. Now, generally, we recommend about 1,000 to 1,500 words for a minimum on a home page, only because the more information you have on the page, the more of an expert you seem, and then the more likely it is that Google will recommend you. kind of like the difference between a single book and a series of encyclopedias. However, this is also a race, so if your competitor has 1,500 words on their homepage, we're going to want to go for 1,750 to 2,000. We just want to make sure that we're offering more information than your competitor. Now, while Google is counting all the words, it's also searching for those keywords. So all the services you want to offer, and then the areas you want to be found in. Now, this is where the number of words on the page really comes into play because you're only allowed to have one of those keywords for every 100 to 150 words of text on the page. So the more services you want to be found for or the more locations you want to be found in just means the more content that you'd have to add to your page. And then furthermore, every update that Google has done recently, they're placing more and more emphasis on quality content. So they're actually reading the content on your page. So in order to qualify a keyword for, say, exterior painting in an area, the 100 to 150 words backing that up would have to be specifically describing exterior painting or that area in order for Google to pick it up, make it relevant, and then find you for search results in it. So this is where making sure we have the right keyword research and putting in those proper keywords and then the amount of content to back them up is really going to help you come up with more search results. So for instance, if we take a look at this other competitor, they've got a heading with a keyword phrase and then they've got the information to describe that keyword phrase. And then if we look even further down, painting contractor in Rhode Island, I'm sure that's an exact match keyword phrase. This is what we call a buyer intent keyword. If somebody's searching for interior painting, they could be searching from anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, really. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're looking to hire somebody. But if somebody's searching for a painting contractor in Rhode Island, that means they're specifically looking for a contractor to hire. So these are the types of keywords that we want to be including on the site and then qualifying them with the content so that way you're coming up for these types of keyword searches. So that way all these leads coming in are hot leads that people want to hire somebody. So I just want to touch on your service area pages, which is a fantastic way to try to get more traffic. So if we take Rhode Island and we'll go to say Providence. I'm sure that there are plenty of keywords that say, Providence and painting. So this is where we would want to find location-specific keywords that have nothing to do with anything except Providence. So it makes this extremely relevant to this area. This is where you can capture all the search volume from individual local search areas easier than trying to rank your homepage in every single area because this will be more relevant to the search criteria. However, what I will say is we've got Providence right here, and I also pulled up Warwick. They're the same exact page with just a location change. So unfortunately, the way Google views that is when it crawls these sites, it sees duplicate content. So it won't list all of them, potentially won't even pick up the keywords, and sometimes it'll only serve one of these pages in the search results, and it'll consider all the rest duplicate, and it'll hide them from search results, so you actually won't show up. So this is where we want to get those location-based specific keywords for each individual location, and then make sure we're just crafting the content so that way it's a little bit unique on each page, so that way Google will qualify each individual page, and you can more easily come up for all those local search results. So how that will look is, whenever we do a Google search, the first thing that's always going to come up are paid ads. Those can get pricey anywhere from, a couple dollars to $30 or $40 per click. Then underneath that, this is what we call the map pack. The snack pack is what it's called by Google. This is location based. However, there is ways to optimize this profile so that way you can come up further from your home area. Obviously, you want to fill out as much of the profile as possible with all the information, gather reviews. You want to get in as many directories as possible, have more citations than anybody on the list. But then also you want to be adding posts, profile updates, and pictures specifically to your profile on a regular basis because Google rewards this activity. Then we go one step further. When we're uploading a picture, we actually embed that photo with a geolocation so Google can understand your service area. Google can't understand what a picture is. However, it can understand the information that the picture is embedded with. So just to kind of give you an example, see if I can find one here. So when Google's looking at this image, this is what it sees. It sees this name. It doesn't understand what this picture is about, but it just reads this file name. So this is where we call it alt text. We want to save these images when they upload them to your website as the keywords, your business name, location, any kind of modifier like that. So that way when Google is seeing these pictures, it's understanding what they're about. Same thing with your business profile. We're putting that longitude and latitude geolocation so Google can understand where your service area is, so that way you can be found further and further away from your actual map location. So for instance, CertaPro is way up here. Well, he's an ad. But Two Brothers is actually way down here, and I'm searching from North Smithfield up here, and they're still coming up, even though there's more concentration around Providence, because they've done such a good job of including a lot of different pictures and everything into their profile. It doesn't hurt that they have a pretty good rating as well, but this is where you can increase this for your Google business profile, which is totally free. Underneath that, this is what we call the organic search results. Now, this is where the more authority or trust that Google has in your site, the higher up on the list you're going to rank. So this is where getting more of those links or referrals from other websites, helps you climb and outright the competition. And then regardless of the location, as long as you have that keyword on your site and the site is ranked, you're going to be getting your leads coming in directly to you. So this is definitely a profitable area as well, because people could be searching from a little bit further out and you'll still be 100% relevant in getting that lead coming in. Now, I hope this information was helpful. I know it was a lot, so if you have any questions or if you want to go into a little bit more detail, feel free to reach out. We could talk about some of the goals for the business, and then I could do some research on my end to find out what it would take for you guys to reach those. But I always just appreciate getting feedback as well, just to find out if information like this was useful for you. So please let me know what you thought. Thanks, and I appreciate your time.